There's a new book out today by one Aoife Galler, who is a, let's say, globalist shill, who works for this Institute of Strategic Dialogue. Anyway, it's named, and it's named Web of Lies, and its content, as far as I can see so far, is also Web of Lies. Now, she mentions my name and the Irish Freedom Party a few times throughout her book, and I would like to respond. She's been very careful in her language, and she doesn't say things, but regarding myself, she kind of insinuates and does death by association. Well, I'll get straight on to the three main points which I would like to take up and respond and beat her little allegations and insinuations without evidence into the ground. One, she says that I'm friends with a guy called Jack Sen. Jack Sen is supposed to be some Indian guy who lives in England, and he's supposed to be far right. And she builds up this case that because I knew someone who liked the Twitter post, that I am friends with Jack Sen. Let me be 100% clear. Before I was contacted, I never even heard of the name Jack Sen. Never have had any contact by phone, by email, through people, anything with Jack Sen. I don't have any relationship with that guy at all. So that's very clear. Now, if she wanted to check, she could just, and seemingly in the book, that a journalist contacted Jack Sen. Well, it would have been very easy just to ask this guy, have you ever spoken or emailed or had any contact with Herman Kelly? Was that done? No. Do you know why it wasn't done? Because it doesn't suit their BS story. So, point number one, am I friends with Jack Sen? Never heard of the guy, never spoken to him, never emailed him, nada. Point number two, and I don't know why she does it, is it wouldn't be that bad anyway. There's a story in there that before the council elections of 2019, that the Irish Freedom Party, that we were running a candidate in Kerry, a local council candidate in Kerry. Once again, that story, which she simply repeats, rewrites some Sunday Business Post story, is completely and utterly false. We never had any local candidates for council in the 2019 election. We didn't have any candidate in the 2019 council elections in Kerry. No email was sent from the Irish Freedom Party to anybody. But what she does is she repeats some baseless fake news story in a tiny Kerry publication that we had written them talking about some candidate. We had no candidates in the 2019 council elections. So once again, it's completely untrue. Point number three, Herman Kelly is a white nationalist or a white supremacist. That's not the statement, that is the insinuation. She talks about some guy, talks about echoes, so she hears echoes in my speech of someone from someone before. I have made it clear numerous times, both in print, radio interviews, speaking on video or whatever, biologically, I do not believe in separate races. There's one human race. It's a continuum from blackest black to whitest white and everything in between. I don't believe biologically we're all one species. I don't believe in separate races, and I don't believe in racial superiority, because how can you when it's all the same race? She insinuates that I'm a white nationalist or a white supremacist. Once again, it's completely untrue. I am a Catholic. I believe that we're all brothers under God, and in terms of biology, we are one species and one human race. So once again, the content of her book is very appropriate. Its title is Web of Lies, and Aoife Gallagher gives us a content which is a web of lies. And it's funny that even the term far right and white supremacist and anti-Semite, all these kind of words she throws around in the book, everything she tries to fit everything from Ireland into box categories formed in America. These ideas, these categories of thought, which are all formed in American universities, that everybody has to conform with them. Well, they're out of place in Ireland. You need to update intellectually. And I find it very funny that Gary Kavanagh from Gript, who's a very good investigative journalist, has found, just with the first reading of her book, found out that she had plagiarized quotes in her book, which she didn't give any attribution to, and that she had also changed the quote that she put in without attribution. So there we find that Aoife Gallagher is a plagiarist and someone who's not only plagiarized quotes but also deformed them. So I believe her book is, in regards to what it says about myself, is completely untrue. The bits that I've seen, they're baseless, they're without evidence, and that her name of her book is very appropriate, Web of Lies. Aoife Gallagher, you're a plagiarist and you have deformed quotes that you put in without attribution. You should be ashamed. My name is Herman Kelly. I'm president of the Irish Freedom Party, and I would ask you to make sure that you don't buy that stinking book. It's not worthy of your money. Go to Margaret.